And good to have everybody with us again tonight. So good evening. Welcome to our Expedia Cruises Thursday night travel talk. Tonight, our special guest is Fatima De Silva from Norwegian Cruise Line, who's going to give us some wonderful information about where Norwegian sails and all their new ships. Everyone on the call is muted. You do have control of your video if you'd like to have it on or off. We'd love to see faces. It's been too long since we've been connecting with people. We don't get people coming into our office very often. So if you can turn your videos on. Thank you, Pamela, for waving. I appreciate that. It is nice to see faces. There is a chat feature. If you do have some questions, please put them in the chat and we will answer them after our presentation. So my name is Lisa Antlick. I'm one of the consultants at Expedia Cruises. Our travel talks are being hosted by the 6 Expedia Cruises locations in the Edmonton area. It's been over 2 years since March 2020 when the world changed. And if you're on this call, you enjoy traveling. Travel fulfills us. That's why we do it. And if you're like me, you're missing it. At this time, we are still concerned about safety and health. Over the last few weeks and months, we're seeing the COVID numbers dropping. We're seeing restrictions being lifted. People are choosing to travel, and cruising is one of the safest ways to travel. The government has lifted the restrictions in terms of warning against cruises. It is safe or safer than anything you can do. Cruises are sailing today with the highest levels of COVID mitigation in the industry. Cruise lines are leading the way with stringent health and safety measures, including safety protocols, incorporate testing, vaccinations, screening, sanitations, enhanced ventilation, mask wearing, sometimes optional, physical distancing, and other proven health measures. There is a difference between traveling and planning your future travel. So if you feel comfortable planning right now, we're happy to help you. If you're not feeling comfortable for a variety of reasons, it's okay, but we are still here to help. And we encourage you to plan. If you don't feel comfortable, plan for a vacation, because 40% of the pleasure of a trip comes from planning one. At Expedia Cruises and all our offices, we've had many clients recently sail, came back with raving reviews. I personally just came back from a trip to Jordan and Egypt, and it was absolutely spectacular. It was so nice to get out and travel again and interact with people and see the sights and fill that bucket list that has been kind of sitting at a standstill for a while. Travel is more complex than it used to be. Now more than ever, the professional advice of a travel consultant is needed, and our consultants are here to help you navigate the new complexities, making sure your vacation is safe and seamless. When you book with an Expedia Cruises travel agent, you will get our expertise. There are hundreds of different cruise lines and different ships, and we can kind of narrow it down and let you know what is the best one for you based on your needs. We have excellent pricing, much better than you'll get booking directly with the cruise lines. We have Expedia Extras, which gives you, we block group space and we can give you extra amenities such as Shipboard credits. We also have the information that you're looking for regarding passports, visas, entry requirements, testing requirements that is ever changing, and we are your experts on that. And we can also assist you if there's any emergency, if there's any plane delays, luggage issues, or any changes in your trip. We are here to help you so you're not on your own. We are committed to finding the best value of your travel dollars. We are more than just cruises. We're a one-stop shop, so you can come to us and we can take care of your flights, your transfers, your tours, your hotels. We are now Expedia Air, Land, and Sea Vacations. Best of all, I think there's a real trend to want to shop local, and we are in your neighborhood. So please don't hesitate to come visit us. The past 2 years have been challenging for all of us. I think we have realized that time is very precious. The bucket list has become the to-do list. Time is passing, and like you, much has to be made up for in terms of seeing the world. So whatever your dreams are, at Expedia Cruises, our consultants can help make them come true. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to our special guest, Fatima Da Silva, who's going to give us the information on Norwegian cruises. So sit back and relax and welcome, Fatima.
Thank you so much, Lisa, and thank you to all the 6 Expedia cruises for all your support and inviting me tonight. So I'm really excited to be here with all of you, and I hope that next time we're all live. So that is what I'm hoping for the next time. So I'm actually going to show my screen, and we're going to get started. Perfect. Can everybody see my screen?
Your screen is not showing up.
Oh. So let me try this again.
Don't we love technology?
Oh, don't we? You think by after 2 years, Lisa, that we would have this all? How about now?
We are good to go.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, thank you very much. I hope that after tonight's presentation and after all the snow that you've had the last 2 days, the first thing you're going to do tomorrow morning is call one of the Expedia cruises and book a cruise. So I'm just going to go a little bit about everything about Norwegian today. We have lots of exciting products coming out. We have new ships coming out, itineraries. So we're going to do a little bit of everything just because we're all different and we all like different things. So for anyone that hasn't traveled on Norwegian, one thing about Norwegian is we're freestyle cruising. So pretty much you cruise how you want to. You dine when you want to, you dress how you want to. So we have no formal nights, but of course, if you want to dress formal, you're more than welcome to dress formal. Lots of choices. One thing that we've really focused the last 2 years is guest experience. So that is our number one is your experience on our ships. Of course, service, our crew are so happy to be back on the ship, being off for so long that, you know, they have smiles on their faces, they're wanting to help. So the experience has just been amazing since we've been back on the ships. So like I mentioned, feel free to cruise your own way. So no fixed dining times with us. But of course, if you do like the fixed dining times, you can still do that. You can actually go make reservations for the specialty dining or for even the main dining room if you like the fixed time dining. You get dressed up or go casual, how you want. And then we have numerous free dining and also specialty options. So that's what makes us very different from all the other cruise lines. I actually sold all-inclusives for 16 years. So when I actually came over to Norwegian Cruise Line 6 years ago, it was the perfect cruise ship for me because I was so used to the all-inclusive. So because I always say Norwegian Cruise Line is an all-inclusive, but we're on sea. And one thing my son always said, because we used to go to all-inclusives all the time, he would actually, towards the end, he would say, "Mom, I am tired of looking at the same palm tree every single day." So I'm like, perfect. Now we're cruising every day. We wake up in a different port. So he's 18 years old. He loves it just because every day we're exploring something different, not the same palm tree all the time. So we're really excited. So the last couple of years we've been working on a new class of ships with Norwegian, which are called the Prima class. So this year we're launching Prima. So Prima will be the first from the Prima class, and we have 6 ships in order. So we'll have a new ship every single year now until I think 2026, 2027. And then next year, the Viva will be coming out. So I'm going to go through what these ships are going to be like. They're a little bit different from all of our ships that we have now. With the Prima and the Viva, the nice thing about these ships is if you've traveled on the Bliss, on the Encore, and the Joy, they're the bigger ships. These ones here are going to be a little bit more of the smaller ships. It's going to be a lot more space some ships, how do I explain this? Some ships, lots of staterooms, because we want to put lots of people. This ship's going to be different. It's going to be a lot more restaurants, bars, activities. So it's going to be a different type of experience. So this is going to be a new bar for us. It's the Metropolitan Bar. One thing with Norwegian, we are very about sail and sustain programs. So this bar actually is going to be located on deck 7, and we're going to have zero waste cocktails in this bar. So something that's different for us. Then another one that we're introducing is the whiskey bar. So this one is going to be on deck 8. So you can actually tell, if anyone that has traveled on Norwegian, you can see the style of this ship is a little bit more higher end than some of our other ships. And then the observation lounge. So this is one of the favorite rooms when we introduced the Bliss, the Joy, and the Encore was the observation lounge. One thing about the Prima class ships is you're going to be looking outside, not inwards on the ships. So, we're always inside our home, especially the last 2 years. When we are on a ship, we want to be able to explore the outside. And that's one of the main focuses when we designed this ship, was to enjoy the outdoors. So as you can see, the observation lounge, if you can see all the windows from ceiling to bottom to top ceiling, glass mirror, so you'll be able to just walk around the entire observation lounge and have an amazing view wherever you look. And then the next is La Bistro. This is our famous French restaurant. So you can see the chandelier. It's a very Paris feel, floor to ceiling chandeliers. It's going to be very classy. And that will be one of the specialty dining. This one here, the Surfside Grill and the Surfside Cafe, this is actually going to be one of the free dining options. So it's actually almost like the Garden Cafe, which we have now. It's going to be a little bit different because we're actually going to have food stations. So do you know how you go to a buffet and the food sits there and you choose what you want? This is going to be more like you go up to the pasta station and they will actually make pasta how you want it, what type of sauce you want. You can go up to the Asian counter, and there they will actually make it fresh for you at that time. So it's more like, I don't know, like a food fair, when you go to a food court and a mall and they make it right there in front of you. That's going to be the idea of this Surfside. This here is the Commodore room. So for anyone, again, that's traveled on our older ships, we have the Taste and the Savor dining rooms, so which is the smaller dining room. So this will be replacing the Taste and the Savor. So we'll still have the large dining room, which is going to be the Hudson. So as you can see, we've really taken the out. So you'll be sitting in the dining room and you will have glass wrapped around the entire restaurant. So you'll be having dinner and the views will just be amazing. So the other thing too, with our menus now, our menus are going to have set. So it's like going to the Cactus Club or the Milestones, where the menu is going to be the same. We're going to have a lot of options, but it's going to be the same menu in each restaurant. So example, with the Hudson, you're going to have your jumbo shrimp, your smoked salmon, the prime rib. So, and that will be every night. So you can try different things every single night. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I go and I'm like, oh, I really want that tonight, and it's not going to be there tomorrow, so I should have it tonight. So you won't have that problem at the Hudson. So a little bit different with the waterfront on our current ships compared to the Ocean Boulevard on the Prima and the Viva. So the difference is the waterfront, you all know that we have the outdoor dining, outdoor bars, and the outdoor sitting area. Well, the Ocean Boulevard is going to have those three, but it's also going to have a wraparound entire deck. So you'll be able to walk around the entire deck 8 around the Ocean Boulevard. We're actually going to have pool decks, so it's going to have infinity pools. So we'll have 2 infinity pools on the port side, and then we'll also have infinity pools over on the starboard side. Premium outdoor lounging. We're also going to have a glass bridge over the ocean, and then a sculpture garden. So great for family pictures, for wedding ceremonies, for anything. It's going to give a lot of options for different types for the garden. So here's some pictures of the Ocean Boulevard. So as you can see, lots of lounging spaces, day beds. And like I had mentioned, we'll have 2 areas, so the port side and the starboard side with the infinity pools. This is going to be one of my favorites because I love food. So we're actually adding an indulge food hall. So I always explain it as it's going to be a fancy food court. So we're going to have our garden cafe is going to be located in here, our Q Steakhouse. We're going to have Starbucks, a dessert place. We're going to have noodles, which is all types of noodles. And if anyone that hasn't traveled on Norwegian, I think we have one of the best Indian foods in our buffet. So we're actually having an Indian restaurant that's also going to be located in this area. I think this area is going to be fantastic. You know, after the last 2 years, we're finding that a lot of families are traveling together, or friends and family. So this is going to be a great area because, you know, we all like different types of food. We all like to get different things. So this area is going to be great because everybody can go and grab what they want, and then you can all come and sit together and enjoy it. So that's going to be the nice thing about the Indulge food hall. And then of course, we're famous for our speedways. So of course, the Viva and the Prima Speedway is going to be a lot larger. So it's going to be 3 levels now instead of 2. So it's going to be deck 18, 19, and 20. And it's actually 22% longer than the one on the Encore. And the Encore right now is the one with the largest racetrack. And 14 nail biting turns. And also we've increased, so 15 riders at the same time for the Speedway on the 2 newer ships. And then we have this one, which is going to be the Rush and the Drop. I don't know if I'll ever try this because I'm a chicken when it comes to heights. So it's actually a dry slide. So I don't know if anybody remember going to like Calgary Stampede or any, and you had the dry slides where you do the potato bags, you go into the potato bags and off you go. So this is going to be sort of the same idea, except you're on a magic rug. And so you start on deck 18 and you exit off on deck 8. So, and there'll be 3 slides. So we'll have 2 on the starboard side, and then of course on the port side. So that is what it's going to look like. Something also we've introducing, which is new, is the bullseye. So for anyone that likes darts, this is going to be where you're going to hang out, I guess. So it's a classic pub darts with a twist. So we'll be taking, it's going to be all electronic. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be fun for like a group of, you know, friends and stuff, a couple of drinks, and have a friendly dart game. So with the Viva, she has some really unique itineraries. So she actually is going to be doing a 7-day Caribbean, Barbados, Antigua, and St. Lucia, starting in San Juan. So as you can see on this itinerary, you have Tortuga, St. Thomas, St. Martin, Antigua, St. Lucia, and Barbados. So this is a great island, a great itinerary if you're planning on doing a lot of the Caribbean. This is actually one of my favorite itineraries. I'm actually booked to go on this one for next July. With my background being Portuguese, so it gives me an option to go and visit family. So this itinerary, we have the 2 options. You can either start in Rome and finish off in Lisbon, or you can actually start in Lisbon and end off in Rome. So as you can see here, it's the perfect Europe itinerary. You do Lisbon, you get Spain, you get to go to Ibiza, Palma, Barcelona, Villafranca, you go to Marseille, and then you go to Florence, which is one of my favorite areas, and then you finish off in Rome. So this is a great itinerary, and it's selling really quickly, and this is for next year, for 2023. And then of course, we have the Prima, which the Prima is coming out this year. She's going to have a 11-day Western Caribbean from Galveston. The nice thing with the Prima is that her home port is going to be Galveston. So for us out of the West, I'm based in Vancouver. So to go to Miami, it takes an all day to get on a ship to cruise the Caribbean. Now it's going to be a lot easier. All I have to do is fly from Vancouver to Houston, an hour drive into Galveston, and I am getting on the ship and I'm exploring the Caribbean. So her itinerary is going to be, like I mentioned, Western Caribbean. So this one here is, starts off in Galveston. You get Cozumel, you get Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, and then you get to relax on your sea. Then you get to experience a day at our private island, which is Great Stirrup Cay, and then you're into Miami. But we do have the returns also, the 7 nights Galveston to Galveston, if that's something that you're looking for instead of doing the Galveston over to Miami. So that would be a different option for you. Another one, which is another one of my favorites, I have a lot of favorites, is New York to Bermuda. So this is a 7-day. For anyone that has never been to Bermuda, please add that onto your bucket list. You know, it's one of those destinations that I could probably go every single year. You know, my coworker goes like every year, sometimes 2 times a year. She used to always talk about the pink sanded beach, and you know, you actually feel like you're in London because they have the red phone booths and stuff. So it's a great cruise. And the other thing I like about it is that you're docked for overnight, so you get lots of time to explore the island of Bermuda. Which with Norwegian, we actually have our own ferry. So when you actually get off in Bermuda, we have a ferry that will actually take you to St. James. And then you get to explore St. James, and it's a free ferry ride over. And then what we did is from St. James, we took the city bus to Hamilton, explored Hamilton, and then came back onto the ship. So lots of different options with Bermuda, especially when you're overnighting. Alaska, are you all ready for Alaska after your snow? So Alaska, you know, me being in Vancouver, I've probably have done Alaska maybe 10 times. And all my friends always ask me, Fatima, why do you like Alaska? Do you know what? There's so much to do in Alaska, you know, and there's the wildlife. You get to, you know, do the glaciers, which are melting. So if that's something that's on your bucket list to experience the glaciers, which is breathtaking when you're circling around, when the ship does the circle around, so you can actually see the glaciers. It is just the whole nature. This is actually one itinerary that I always get the question, do you recommend me getting a balcony? And I always say, Alaska is one that you do want to get a balcony, because when you're sailing up, especially when you're getting up to Ketchikan and Juneau, you don't want to miss any of the wildlife, any of the nature. It's breathtaking. So if you don't have Alaska on your bucket list, please make sure you add it onto your bucket list. So we have lots of options with Alaska, with Norwegian. We actually have ships that sail out of Seattle, ships that sail out of Vancouver, and then also seaward up more in Alaska. So with the different itineraries, which I'll go through, we have the Norwegian Bliss and the Norwegian Encore. Those are out of Seattle. They do the return from Seattle, and they're 7 days. I always get the question, what's the difference? I always recommend the Encore and the Bliss for families, just because there's lots of activities. Imagine doing the race cart as you're up in the glaciers. You know, you're riding your car and you just have the beautiful views around you. So the Bliss, yeah, so it has more activities for families. It's a bigger ship and lots of different options. So with these 2 itineraries, you start off in Seattle. This one here goes to Sitka, Juneau. You get the Dores Glacier, Icy Strait, Ketchikan. You get to stop in Victoria, and then you're back into Seattle. With the Encore, it's a little bit of a different itinerary. So the difference between the Encore and the Bliss, the Encore is the newer ship, so from the Bliss. So that's pretty much the only difference of those 2. And then of course the itinerary. So Seattle, you get Juneau, you get Skagway, the Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, Victoria, and back to Seattle. So that are the 2 different itineraries with the bigger ships. Then we have the Spirit. So the Spirit, I always recommend it. It's more for adults. So the Spirit actually got completely redone 2 years ago, and we actually removed all of the kids' activities from the Spirit. So we actually, where the kids activity was, we've actually added a Spice H2O, which is an adults only infinity area. So it has like a beautiful pool at the after the ship. So I always recommend this itinerary more if you want to sail and you don't want to have all the kids around you. This is probably the ship that I would actually personally choose. So this itinerary starts off in Vancouver. And you get to go to Icy Strait, Juneau, Skagway. You get to do another glacier. You go to Valdez, and then you go to Seaward. So this one is a one-way. So you can actually go Vancouver up to Seaward, get to, add one of our cruise tours, and get to spend more time in Alaska doing Anchorage. So that's one option. We also have a lot of guests that will do 2 weeks. They'll do, they go up and then they come back and do a back-to-back. So that's another option with the Spirit. And then we have the Jewel. The Jewel is, she's been in Vancouver for a couple of years. And this one again is the same idea. So you do the Vancouver up to Seaward, or you go up and then come back to Vancouver. As you can see with this itinerary, it's a very intense Alaska itinerary. So if Alaska's on your bucket list one time, you're doing Alaska once and that's it, that's all. This is an amazing itinerary because you get to experience a lot more of the ports for Alaska. And then we have the Sun. So the Sun is the smallest ship. So if you're looking for more of the smaller ships, more quaint, and again, more of an intense itinerary, with the Sun, we actually have a range of 5, 7, or 9, and even a 16-day itinerary for Alaska. So this might be something, again, if you want to do Alaska once and only, another good itinerary for you to add to your bucket list. So Hawaii, which is our #1 for Norwegian Cruise Line. A couple of things. We are actually the only cruise line that has an all-season Hawaii program. We're very lucky to have the Pride of America, which he is a U.S. flagged ship. And yeah, it just, as you can see, we have been voted best Hawaii itinerary for 15 years. So we're really proud of her. And she actually just came back. Her first sailing was actually April 9th. So I know the staff and everybody's really excited to be back. So the Pride of America, like I mentioned, she does Hawaii all year round. She sails out of Honolulu on Saturdays. You do Maui. So you actually do 4 islands in 7 days and you get 2 overnights, 0 sea days. This is one itinerary. If you've never been to Hawaii, this is the itinerary to do because you get to experience all of the islands. And then you can decide which one is your favorite island that if you want to go back and spend more time, then you can do it. The other great thing about this itinerary is you don't have to worry about inter-island flights. You don't have to pack 4 times. You're only packing once and you're unpacking once. So that's the nice thing about this itinerary. And as you can see, you're in port for a long time. So you're able to really explore the island. Especially with Maui, if you wanted to even rent a Jeep or rent a car and go and explore the island, you're able to do that because we arrive at 8 in the morning and you leave the following day at 6 p.m. So again, it's a great option for you. The other thing too that we offer with Hawaii, if you want to add a 4-day pre-cruise island tour, we also offer the pre-cruise island. So you can add 4 days and 3 nights, 3 nights to your cruise. So here you go. So a couple of different areas that you can explore. So this is just an example. Day 1, of course, you're in Honolulu. So we actually take, you can actually do a tour where you can actually go and explore the Memorial, Pearl Harbor, this area here. And then also you have the Grand Circle Island Tour, which will take you, as you can see Honolulu, the Diamond Head, which is 750-foot volcano crater. And that is part of the Honolulu skyline. And then day 2 and 3, like I had mentioned, you are in Maui. So of course, if you are into whale watching tours, we have whale watching tours that we offer from, of course, December through till April. So it gives you a great opportunity to see humpback whales. And of course, if you do Alaska, you'll probably get to see a lot of the whales also heading up to Alaska. So one thing that whales, they actually 3,000 miles from their feeding grounds in Alaska each year to warm waters of Hawaii. So that's how long they travel. So, and if you've ever been down to the coast of Mexico, you'll also see a lot of the whales. And then, of course, still in Maui, a couple of other options that you can see is Molokini, which is a tiny crescent-shaped island off the coast of Maui. This is actually a result of the volcano eruption about 200,000 years ago. The Molokini crater and turtle snorkeling tour also offers you great snorkeling sites, actually, that have won awards in the world for best snorkeling. And then here we have, I'm going to try and pronounce this. I always have a really hard time. The Waianapapi, which is the black sand beach. So here you have about 120 tropical acres of sightseeing. You have seabird colony, natural stone, sea stacks, and the largest known Hawaiian temple, ancient lava caves. So another option for you, something to do in Maui. And then day 4, we're in Hilo. So if you all haven't been, Hilo is famous for its dramatic waterfalls, rainforests, and also botanic gardens. Also a very popular one is the Crater Hikes and the Akaka Falls shore excursion. That is actually one of the excursions that sells out for us. And it's in the Volcanoes National Park. So you'll actually be able to see lava tubes trek down the crater. The only thing with here, guests must be at least 10 years older to participate in the trek down the craters. So just keep that in mind. And then day 4, you have the Circle of Fire here helicopter tour, which, as you can see, it takes you to the bird's eye of the Kauai volcano. And then on day 4, another option that we offer is the Volcano National Park, which is, again, another popular one. So you actually get the opportunity to walk through the Thurston lava tube, which this is the picture of the lava tubes. And then we're in Kona. So we actually overnight in Kona. So here you can actually, you know, do excursions or go and explore on your own. Here you have lots of beautiful views of the bay. You get to stop in St. Bernadette's Painted Church, which is, again, the old Hawaii's Punam Homani National Historic Park. And that is where the temple house is located. And then we can't forget about these beautiful views, the Big Island. So, you know, it's, as you can see on this picture, it's a helicopter ride. So you get to see the lush rainforest, the coastline, as well as the deep valleys of the Kala'a Mountain and Cascade waterfall. And the other great thing about this itinerary is the only 2 ways that you can actually get to see the volcano and get close is either flying over the volcano or sailing around it, which 99% of the time, our captain always goes nice and slowly around the volcano so that you can take pictures and get to see it close up in person. And then again in Kauai, so day 6 and 7, this here is called the Green Island. Lots of opportunities for hiking if you're into hiking, trails, lots of waterfalls. And then we also have the Waimea Canyon, which is right in the heart of Kauai, which is the island's most dramatic natural attraction. And then, of course, you cannot go to Hawaii and not experience luha. So of course, that is one of the main attractions when you are in Kauai. So with the Kauai tour, you get the plantation train tour. And you actually get to see the whole orchards, the exotic gardens, and then of course at the end you get your traditional luha. So there's some pictures. And then here's another one, which is the Best of Kauai shore excursion that we offer. And this one here, you actually get to experience a 3,000-foot deep Waimea Canyon and the landscaping lining and the walls of the river, including the famous fern grottos. So that you get to experience in Kauai when you do the tour. And then, of course, no stop in Kauai is complete without seeing the Na Pali coast. So make sure that you get to explore the tour. You get to do a seaside views, sail by the towering cliffs of the coast. And you also get to see sea caves, cascading waterfalls, and the rainforest coastline. Maybe you all knew, but the Jurassic Park was actually filmed along the coast here. So for anyone that didn't know that, yeah, Jurassic Park was filmed. So the Pride of America, she actually has lots of options. We offer 8 different types of dining options. And we also, of course, have 8 specialty dining options also. So you have 16 types of restaurants on the ship. So some of the specialty restaurants are steakhouse, the Italian, Brazilian, French, and also teppanyaki and sushi. So it's always great to get our free at sea package because then you'll get the 2 specialty dining, and then you can get to experience any of the specialty dining options. And of course, we have 12 bars and lounges. Just a couple of the names of some of the bars. We have the Waikiki, the Mardi Gras Lounge, the Pink Champagne Bar, the Gold Rush Salon, the Ocean Drive Bar, and then of course, we all need wine bars. We have a wine bar, and then as you can see on the next slide, also lots of different activities. We offer cabanas, spa for the ladies and the gentlemen, a fitness center. Hopefully not everyone's like me. I always take my fitness clothes and then it ends up at the top of my suitcase, but then by the time I'm done my vacation, it's at the bottom of the suitcase. So, and then of course our pool deck, which you can see has lots of sitting area, and it has the two pool areas. And then nightly entertainment, and that is one thing that we do really well, is our nightly entertainment. So every night there's different shows. You can do the main Broadway show, which is in the Hollywood Theater. There's comedy shows. Normally we have the 2 comedy shows, which we have an adults comedy show at 7, and then we have the adults only comedy show more in the late evening. Magic shows, and then of course we have singing performances at some of the restaurants and some of the lounges. So if you're the type that just likes to listen to someone sing and have a drink, there's lots of that throughout the ships. So lots of different options. Here's the public space. So like again, the pool. So the Pride of America, she was completely redone about 5 years ago. And she's in the process of going through again through dry dock. So the only different thing with the Pride of America, and I like to be upfront and honest, because if you're going to look for a casino, this is one ship that will not have a casino. And the reason why is because she is a US flagged ship. So that is the reason why we cannot have a casino on the Pride of America. But as you guys saw, the itinerary is so busy that you won't even notice that there wasn't a casino on the ship, because every day you're at a different port. So because you guys took your evening tonight and you support Expedia Cruises, I'm also going to help you all out. So for attending tonight, And for the next 7 days, if you decide to make a reservation, a booking, I am offering $100 US onboard credit per booking. Anything that is balcony and higher, and has to be booked with any of the Expedia offices in Edmonton. And don't miss out, we have an amazing promotion on right now. We have 35% off, plus the take all free offer. So we offer the open bar, so unlimited drinks. So if you like your Absolute, if you like your high-end whiskey, martinis, your mojitos, all of those are included. Specialty dining. So if you're doing a seven-day cruise, you get 2 specialty dinings. Your shore excursions. So your shore excursions, especially with Hawaii, because you have so many, you have 4 ports, you actually get $50 for each port. So let's say you're doing, the Viva, that 9-day itinerary where you have 6-7 ports. You actually get $50 per port. So it adds up, right? So especially when you're wanting to do excursions. Wi-Fi, extra guests. So if you are traveling with a 3rd or 4th guest, on certain sale dates, we offer free guests, and then also free airfare for the 2nd guest, also for selective itineraries. So please make sure you reach out to any of the amazing consultants at Expedia Cruises. They are the best. They're here to help you guys out. They have all the information that you need. And if they have any questions, or if you have any questions about, food allergies, or if you would like to make a reservation, they know how to contact me. They have my email address and they have my cell number. So they're able to contact me if you need any assistance, or if they need any assistance with me. So please make sure that you are supporting local and supporting Expedia Cruises. And before I go, because I always get the question, so for the free open bar, here is the list. As you can see, we have all premium drinks. Nothing's watered down. So when you're ordering a martini, you're getting the best quality of alcohol that you can get, because that's important sometimes, especially after the 2 years that we've been through. So I want to thank you all for being here tonight, and mahalo, as they say, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Fatima. That was fabulous. I think you intrigued everybody to want to go to a whole bunch of different places, between the slides and the race cars and the dining options and the waterfront. I mean, it really is a very, very beautiful product. So we do have a couple questions. All right. So hold on, let me get.
Hopefully they're all easy questions.
Easy questions. Okay. Well, there was a comment about zero waste cocktails. Isn't that the way cocktails should be?
Exactly, right? That's what I always say.
One of the questions, so how far do you have bookings open? Obviously you have 2022. Are you open for 2023 and into 2024 yet?
We are actually. So we're open up to earlies of 2024. And actually for Hawaii, Pride of America, we're actually open until 2025. So.
Wow. Okay. So we can plan 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025.
Exactly.
Next 4 years.
Exactly.
Average deposit that you want for a cruise?
So you know what? Sometimes we have the promo 2 for 1, so $250 US. Sometimes we have a $50. So it all depends. But normally it's $250, and I'm going to give you guys a little secret. Right now we have the cruise first certificates. So if you actually buy a cruise certificate for $150 before you make your reservation, we will match it with another $150. So you're getting $150 of free money. So, and that, let's say, you get off today and you call Lisa tomorrow. Lisa, I want to buy some of these cruise first certificates. They're actually valid up to 3 years for you able to use them. And they're also transferable. So we actually have a lot of grandma and grandpas that, you don't know what to give the teenagers for Christmas or for their birthdays. So they actually have bought cruise first certificates and have given that to the children, and then they plan a big family trip together. So that's free money, always after free money.
Okay, perfect, perfect. If we are booking so far in advance, everybody's concerned about their investment. What happens if the cruise price drops? Do you have a price guarantee?
So two things with us, which is really good with Norwegian, is let's say you book something for 2024. You know what? I'm a perfect example. I have the Viva booked for me and my son for next year. I'm watching the pricing all the time. Just because I put down deposit, all I have to do is call our call center and they will adjust the pricing.
Okay. That's
Let's
fabulous.
say, and another thing too, Lisa, is that our deposit's refundable. So let's say, your final payment's at 120 days, and you know what, at 200 days, you've seen another itinerary that, might hit more of your bucket list, you can cancel and get your deposit back and make a new booking, right? So there's lots of flexibility, especially with everything.
And I think that's so important nowadays, that we do want that flexibility of price guarantee, making sure we do get the best value. And, circumstances change to know that the deposits are refundable. So that's excellent.
Exactly.
There was a question about the Pride of Hawaii starting, and you did mention that it has started again, which is absolutely wonderful. And I took that number of years ago, and sailing by the Nepali coast was really one of the highlights that I'll never forget. We can't go without having some questions on testing. So is pre-cruise COVID test required for Alaska if leaving from Vancouver? And if yes, when do I have to get it? Can I get it in Vancouver?
So with us, yes, you need to test prior to coming on the ship. So 2 days prior to coming on the ship, you will need to show at check-in your negative COVID testing. So it can be an antigen test, but it has to be, doing it virtually, like with Switch Health, as an example. I do Switch Health. So I just,
And so for anybody who doesn't know, those are the ones that you can order through Air Canada. They get delivered to your house. Perfect. And then you're actually monitored via Zoom. A professional, can see you do that. When the ships are coming, and this is a confusing thing for all of us, the ships are coming back to Canada. Do we need to fill out the Arrive Can app?
Yes, you do.
Okay, because we will actually have left Canada. All right.
Yes.
And then if we have the free at sea and we've got the free Wi-Fi, those Wi-Fi minutes can be used on board to do that.
Oh, exactly. That's how I do it.
All right. What if I test positive? You're talking about your 4-night pre-cruise package, or if somebody just goes to Hawaii a little bit earlier, what happens if I test positive prior to getting on the ship? What is Norwegian's policy?
So you would call you call your wonderful consultant at Expedia Cruises. They're going to call us, and then you would get a FCC. So the amount of your cruise would go into FCC for you to rebook another cruise, but you would not lose any money.
Okay, so just to clarify, an FCC is a few for people who don't know, it's a future cruise certificate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then what's happening with masks? Are masks still mandatory on ships, or are they voluntary?
They're voluntary right now with us. So there is some itineraries in Europe depending on the country policy, but that's the country policy. As of Norwegian policy, they're voluntary.
Okay, perfect. And just one more thing I wanted to clarify for anybody who didn't know, casino in Hawaii, gambling is illegal, and that is why the casino cannot be on that ship. So, all right. I think that's all the questions we have. Thank you again for a great presentation. Traveling is really starting, and truly there is no sin in making up for what we've missed. Fatima talked about multi-generational travel, and especially, grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, and the kids going on a ship that's got so many different activities and facilities and dining choices. So it's a great multi-generational option. So we can plan for up until 2025. The cruise lines obviously are offering flexible policies, so there's no risk in booking early. We've all lost 2 years of vacation. There is a high pent-up demand, and we are already seeing some shortage in space, especially for in the near future in 2022. So I want to thank you all for joining us. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your past travels, and we so look forward to helping you with your future travel plans. Please reach out to your consultants. We are here via phone call, email, Zoom. Our offices are open. We do ask that you call to make an appointment. We're still trying to keep some type of social distancing, in the offices for that. Reminder, follow us on Facebook, check out our YouTube channels. This and all of our other travel talks are recorded there, so you can go back and watch them again. Next week, our travel talk, or sorry, 2 weeks, our travel talk will be Thursday, May the 5th, 7 p.m. Silver Sea, featuring luxury all-inclusive touring. So thank you again, Fatima. Thank you, everybody.
No, thank you.
Spring is coming. It is time to dust off your passport, make sure that you've got something planned, because life is starting again, travel is starting again, and we well deserve it. So thanks everybody for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.